They say hard work always pays off, but what if it pays you in pain, not progress? This isn't just a story, it's a mirror, and you may not like what it shows.
And the quiet town of Asarpura, nestled on the edge of misty hills, stood an old school with ivy crawling up its stone walls. It looked like a place forgotten by time, but inside, it held stories that shaped destinies. There lived Mr. Davis, an aging teacher with a soft voice but eyes like weathered steel. He believed life was the greatest classroom. Among his students, two boys couldn't have been more different. Arjun, the workhorse, obsessed with effort, books, late nights, no shortcuts. He believed pain was the price of success. Arav, the problem solver, grew up in a cramped flat above his father's bicycle repair shop in Leicester. He didn't have time to study all day, but when he did, he studied smart.
Arjun was a hammer, always hitting harder. Arav, he was a key, quiet, turning, unlocking.
Every evening, Arav studied beside the noise of tools clanking and tires hissing. His dad would often say, "Dreams don't feed families, son." But Arav never answered with words. His silence was his rebellion. One morning, Mr. Davis made an announcement. There's one final challenge. Climb Govardhan's peak and bring back the star lotus flower. It only grows on one ledge. The one who brings it back first wins. Arjun clenched his fists. Arav simply raised an eyebrow. At sunrise, Arjun bolted ahead. No warm-up, no water, just blind determination, sprinting through slippery slopes and thorny shrubs.
Arjun was a candle, burning himself to give light. Arav was a mirror, cold, clever, and always reflecting the system back at itself. But both were about to learn. Not all brightness is seen by the eye.
Arav stood at the trail's edge, whispering to himself, climbing faster isn't the same as climbing wiser. He scanned the landscape, found a shaded detour, narrow, quiet. It would take longer but save energy. Just as he turned toward it, he hesitated. Would people call it cheating? Would it look like laziness? He walked anyway.
Most of us live inside this loop. What will they think? But the real question is, what do you want to become?
Arjun, meanwhile, pushed through the bramble, bleeding, dehydrated, chanting to himself, "Don't stop, keep going. Winners suffer." But when he reached the peak, he froze. There stood Arav, calm, sitting beside the star petal, sipping from a flask. Arjun's face twisted. "This isn't fair. I gave everything." Back at the school, both boys presented the flower. Mr. Davis looked at Arjun first. "You worked hard, son. But did you ever stop to think?" Then to Arav, "You worked smart, but never forget, being clever is easy. Being disciplined is rare."
One was a storm, the other a stream, but the stream reached the ocean without shattering rocks.
Years later, Arjun became a researcher, building tools to help people who never got second chances. Arav, a strategist for a global NGO, quietly solving big problems with small moves. They returned one day, older, wiser. Their old teacher now walked with a cane. But when they thanked him, he said, No, you did the climbing. I just pointed at the mountain."
So, what about you? Are you climbing your mountain just to collapse at the top? Or are you navigating wisely, watching for the shadows and shortcuts that make sense? Not because they're easy, but because they're efficient. Watch our next video. Comfort is prison, and overcome the laziness. Tap it now, because the next climb might not give you a second try.